Man makes plans and God laughs. What does that mean? Does that mean you shouldn't make a plan? That we are like a ship on the ocean without a rudder? That we can't set a direction? Of course it doesn't mean that. Then what does it mean? It means that our plans always need to be flexible, not rigid. How do trees survive in terrible storms where the winds are tremendous, where the winds blow and bend the trees halfway down to the ground? How do they survive and not break? Because they're flexible. God made them that way. What happens to you if you're not flexible, if you don't bend with the storms and the winds of life? You too will break. Is it bad to be a broken man? Sometimes you need to be broken to be able to build back up into a great man. So if you're broken today, and I've been there, have hope. If you're down today, have hope. Look up. There's only one way to go, and that's up, if you're at the bottom. And sometimes I think we all have to hit bottom. We have to come to the end of ourselves before we can realize that sometimes we need to surrender to life, to God, to the universe, to your higher self. Whatever name you decide to put on that power, if you believe in that. And if you don't believe in that, that's okay. More than likely, though, there will come a time in your life when you've tried everything that you can think of. Maybe drugs, alcohol, women, money, and nothing seems to give you any pleasure or satisfaction or fulfillment anymore. Then what do? Some people delete themselves. Some people go on living a miserable existence of quiet desperation. And some people decide to surrender, even though they don't understand what they are surrendering to. And when you learn this secret of life, and I wouldn't even say that you really learn it, when it's thrust upon you with such force and pressure that you are unable to do anything else but accept that you don't know everything, and you don't know every way that things can come to pass or that can happen or to achieve your dreams and goals. Something seems to take over us, and we realize that we're not doing it, that it's being done to us or done unto us. There's a feeling of freedom and exhilaration that comes from that I can't, it's actually ineffable unless you've experienced it. Then you learn to trust this power, God, if you like, to accomplish everything that you can't accomplish for yourself. Now, am I saying you shouldn't have goals and dreams and visions? No, I'm not saying that. Am I saying you shouldn't have a plan? No, you need a plan. You need to set off in a direction. But what I am saying is allow yourself to be guided. You may achieve what you desire by self-will, by force, by stomping upon others, by hard work, dedication, consistency, and persistence. And these are all great traits. I myself say persistence is omnipotent. But as I said, there will come a time when your persistence seems to do nothing but make things worse and push you farther away from your goals. that is the time of surrender. Now, am I talking about giving up? No, I'm not. There's a difference between surrendering and giving up, although it seems synonymous. It's not the same when you surrender to a power greater than yourself, and you learn to trust this power. Some people believe it's the higher self. I believe it's a power that resides within me, it resides within you, it resides within everything that exists here on this earth, and maybe in the universe too, in all the universes, the multiverses, if there are such things. It's a power for good, I believe. And when I line myself up with that and choose to follow that way, my life is exquisite. It's wonderful. It's peaceful. It's fulfilling. It's joyous. It's happy. Now, does that mean I don't have some difficult times? Does that mean every day things go exactly how I want them to? Actually, it does. Yes, things do go exactly how I want them to. Although, in the moment, in the process, during the day, it's not going how I planned, how I think it should go. But I've lived long enough on this 63 years that I've lived on this planet to know that everything that happened in my past, that especially those things that seemed terrible that I didn't like, turned out to work for my good and actually brought me to what I really wanted in life. I can say I've gotten everything I've wanted in life. Now, I've set out and had written goals and dreams of having certain things that I really wanted or thought I wanted in the moment. But when I didn't get them, after all the kicking, scratching, fighting, trying, visualizing, taking actions, and not getting them, after some time passed and looked back in retrospect as life unfolded, when I surrendered to the fact that I wasn't going to get what I desired, that I really got what I wanted, that I didn't want that what I got because I didn't get that was much better than what I thought I wanted. And in the reverse of that, there have been times in my life when I have gotten things that I worked hard for, that I pushed, that I scraped, that I made happen. And looking back after a few months or a year, 2 years, realizing that I would have been better off if I hadn't have gotten that. It wasn't what I thought it was, and it didn't turn out for my good in the short term. But in the long term, even those things worked out for the greater good for me to develop as a human being. It's not so much what you achieve in life, it's what you become during the process. Everything happens for you. It doesn't happen to you. And now that's easy for me to say right now. But when I'm in the middle of the mire, in the middle of the miry clay, in the muck, in the crap of life, I don't feel like this is happening for me. But logically, as a man, I know it is. And that's enough to help me get through it, to endure it, to learn from it. This last week was a great example. We were doing a job and just the stress level was like, from a scale of 1 to 10, it got up to about a 9.5. And one day at 2 o'clock, I just said, I'm done. I just went out and sat down for about a half an hour, and I let the boys work. I had to surrender. Things weren't going the way I wanted them to. The job was not unfolding the way I told the client that it had to unfold, that we needed it done this way to get the best job possible for him. But it wasn't his fault. It wasn't anybody's fault. It was just the way things unfolded. So during that time of stress, I knew I wasn't accepting God's plan for this job. I wanted it to be the way that I thought it needed to be to have the best possible outcome. And I still believe that is the way, the best possible outcome for the best quality when we were done. Now, I wasn't wrong about that, but it just wasn't meant to unfold that way. And I could see in the middle, even though it was very uncomfortable, that this was building my character, patience, tolerance, and inner strength, my inner man. And as I said, it's not so much what you achieve or if your plans unfold to fruition the way you want them to, it's what you become during the process. And to build that inner man, it takes adversity, it takes challenge, it takes discomfort. It takes you being able to accept feeling uncomfortable, frustrated, maybe discouraged. All these things, when you press through them, build your inner man. And as I said, it's more what you become in life than what you achieve. So if you have a big vision, a big goal, big dreams, be ready for the time of testing, for the time of character building and integrity. Because during these times where you're going to want to shortchange, you're going to want to fudge a little bit on what is right and what is wrong, because you just want to get through and be finished. But these moments of pressure are the most important moments in your success and your achievement of your goals and your vision, because these moments build the character and integrity that you need. They're opportunities for you to express the strength of your inner man, to build the strength of your inner man. So keep that in mind next time things don't go your way. You want to get angry, you want to blame, and you want to ask why. And I do that, I ask why. But I know the answer. It's helping me to build character and integrity, to be able to manage, to be able to handle, to be able to accept with humility the big goal, the big dreams and visions that I have. So accept the discipline of God, the universe, of your higher self, of your being within that knows all. And keep pressing forward. And you will eventually get there. Take care. Contemplate this today. Like, subscribe, share this with a friend if you think it will help them. Thanks for joining me.